Hey y'all, welcome to the October Energy Update. I'm Peyton and I'm joined by the ladies, Corey and Yaela. And today we're going to be bringing you the energy report for the month of October. Now, as y'all know, we like to read the energy for you from three different directions. So we're going to start out today with Corey, who is our, of course, astrology guru. And she's going to tell us what the astrology is going to be doing in October. Then we're going to head to Yaela, who is going to read the energy for the collective in a little live reading for you. And then I will wrap things up by giving you the monthly report from the Pleiadians, just so you know kind of what is headed toward you. So, kicking off this month, Corey, what's going on in the astrology this month?
Hi. Thank you, Peyton. Oh, October. Wow. Well, my name is Corey Davidson, and I do the intuitive astrology report. At the end, I will pull a couple of cards to see how we can be supported. First things first, our heart goes out, all of our hearts, Peyton and Yaela and I, all of our hearts go out to all of the people that have been affected by Hurricane Helene or Helen, either or, it doesn't matter. And we know that there has been a lot of people gathering together to help one another, but still in that horrific hurricane hitting us in the United States. We just want you to know that our hearts go out to you, and we are sending a lot of love and a lot of healing energies your way. So, October 2024. We're still in strong energy. You know, the September, October, November, still just very strong energy. We still have three planets that are retrograde. That's Neptune in its home sign of Pisces. And that's going to be retrograde until December 7th. And Neptune, that's water, just water, water. And I will say, Neptune in its home sign of Pisces, and also Saturn in Pisces is also retrograde until November 15th. It's interesting because it does represent floods. And we've seen a lot of that in the world, but recently in the United States. So, hence Neptune and Saturn in Pisces. All right, and going retrograde. Then we also have Pluto in Capricorn. It's the last hurrah. I'm a Capricorn, so it's been in me since 2008. So I'm excited for this last bit and to move on to Aquarius. But Pluto is retrograde in Capricorn until this month, which is October 11th. So a lot of shifts happening. On the 2nd of October, we have a new moon solar eclipse in Libra. So the first half of October is in Libra. Libra is an air sign. It's the scales of justice. It rules relationships. And then the second half is going to be in Scorpio. Scorpio is water. It rules death and rebirth. It has that stinger, right? The scorpion has that stinger. And even though the second half is going to be in Scorpio, this is a really strong Libra month. Okay. So on the 2nd, we have the new moon solar eclipse in Libra. This is the bookend to the eclipse season. And eclipse are permanent changes. These are changes that happen that are complete changes. And with that, we have Mercury, the mind, the sun, moon will also be conjunct, which is all together making one energy in the sign of Libra. And it's also sitting at the south node of Libra. So south node collectively, well, in your individual chart as well, but south node is what we move away from, what we leave behind, what's in the past. So we always try and move towards the north node, which right now it's in Aries. So it's near the south node. So even though it's a new moon, and it's a light solar eclipse, right? So it's not a full solar eclipse, it's a partial. So even though new moons are about manifesting, this new moon is really, because it's on the south node, it's all connected with the south node. What are you going to let go of? So it's an opportunity to let go of relationships of all kinds, all kinds. Relationships to yourself, relationships that may not be no longer serving you, relationships to work. Okay, so we have that opportunity to let go of things in our relationship and or relationships, so that we can manifest something new coming in. And what comes in is contingent on what you're going to let go, specifically in this new moon solar eclipse on the south node. It's also because Libra is the scales of justice. Okay, so it's a need for balance, a balance in relationships, as opposed to like always defaulting to others, because Libra rules the relationships, but Libras always want harmony and balance, and they want to do whatever you want to do. Like, what would you like to do today? Oh, I don't, whatever you want to do. So the Libra really never gets, they really never get to do what they want to do, because they naturally default to what the others want to do, okay, for harmony. So it's a need for balance, a balance in the self, a balance in relationships, whether it's relationship to work, a significant other, children, it doesn't matter. But this is a big energy and a theme in October, is balance, balancing yourself, keeping your center, right? Not just giving away what you would like to do or your will to something or someone else. All right. October 9th, we have Jupiter, the expansion planet, is going to go retrograde in Gemini. So Jupiter is beliefs, Gemini is facts. So it's a time when it goes retrograde, it's, review, rewind, renew. It's a time to review our beliefs and possibly change our belief systems. Jupiter retrograde in Gemini. It's a prime opportunity to review and change our belief systems, whether it's our own personal belief systems or on the world plane. All right. October 11th, Pluto goes direct in Capricorn. So Pluto is hidden secrets, death and rebirth. And I was just talking to the ladies beforehand. And when Pluto either changes signs or goes retrograde or goes direct, because Pluto is that death and rebirth, transformation, hidden secrets. A lot of people transition during Pluto changing signs or going forwards or backwards. So Peyton reminded me that in August, the P's had one of their messages was that, there are lots of people who are going to transition. And so this is also a time where people are going to transition. So hidden secrets is Pluto. And because it's in Capricorn, Capricorn is top-down structures, authority. So Capricorn is banks, governments, corporations, institutions. And so it's about individual power versus state or government power. This is, if you've noticed, since 2008, when Pluto went into Capricorn, we have hopefully learned a lot about the hidden secrets of the world, right? About our governments, about corporations, about schools, banks, all right? So when it goes direct, because it's been reviewing all those things, it allows for forward movement. All right, so this is, as I've talked about before, the takedown, right? It's getting rid of old systems. So because we're walking into the new world. We're walking into the new world. And so we can't do that unless we let go, right? The Libra of our relationships to, to these things. And also Pluto saying, revealing hidden secrets so that we can transform our world into a world that we want to live in. All right. October 13th, Mercury enters Scorpio. So more secrets will be revealed. Are you seeing a theme for October? And on the 17th, Venus enters Sagittarius. Yay! Actually, I'm really happy about that because it does give us a little bit of a reprieve from all the seriousness and all that's been going on, because Sagittarius is more upbeat. Upbeat and fun. Sagittarius likes to have fun. And Venus, what you love, how you love in Sagittarius does allow for some play to come in. But it also has the opportunity to open us up to other points of view, because Sag is that philosopher, philosophical, loves to learn about other people's ideals, what's going on in the world. So Venus entering Sagittarius on the 17th really gives us that reprieve to just have a little fun, and to be a little bit more upbeat, and to open us up to other points of view, whether it's in the world or friends or businesses. It's a good support that we'll need in October. And then also on the 17th, Sagittarius is also a fire sign. But also on the 17th, we have a full moon in Aries. So Aries is the self. Aries is the warrior. Full moons are about, what are you going to release? So we're being called at this point in time on Earth, as we're seeing actually with the hurricane, other people banding together to help one another, not just thinking about the self, which is Aries, but banding together. And moving forward, the new Earth, we're being called because of that Aquarian, the Aquarian age we're moving into, Yaila, our token Aquarian, is about the collective. How can we all better ourselves so that we can be a better support for the collective? All right. So the full moon in Aries is going to be strong. It's also a fire sign. It's going to be strong. It's the warrior. It rules war. So stay in love. Stay together. Don't war with yourself. Well, I hate to say don't. I suggest. I suggest to not war with yourself or others. But again, fight for love. If you're going to be doing a war, do it for love, for one another, because we all need each other to get to the age of Aquarius in this new world. All right, so October 22nd, the sun moves into Scorpio. So here we go with the Pluto and the Scorpio. We're moving into Scorpio season. And we have that Pluto in Capricorn. So it's death and rebirth, secrets revealed. So transformation can happen. So share your truth. Now is the time, especially in Scorpio season, to share your truth. What do you have you had a chance to review your belief systems? Have they changed? Speak your truth. The more light that is shared on the dark, the more light that is shared on the dark, the better things will be. And that's what we're into at this time on Earth. So that's what I've got for October. I'm going to pull a crystal intentions oracle card to see what crystals can support us for October. Should have seen them when I pulled for all three of us beforehand. Can't make this stuff up. Okay, thank you. Oh, rutilated quartz. I am grateful that my vital life force provides me with the energy and the motivation to live life to the fullest. Rutilated quartz, it's gold. So we have also too a lot of Uranus and Taurus, which is banking, improve energy levels and increase life force, maintain focus, increase feelings of self-empowerment, amplify courage and confidence. Love that. So I'm getting that again, empower yourself to help another. And then I'm going to pull one more card. And this is the spirit junkie from Gabrielle Bernstein. Because we're all spirit junkies, really. All right, here we go. October, what is it? Okay, well, that was. I see grace and possibility in all of life's challenges. Remember, have grace. Look at these feathers. All the feathers. Wait. No, those are leaves. Leaves. Branches of the leaves, right? Tree of life. So give yourself some grace. Give others grace. Because we're all going through this change together. Mother Earth is changing, and we're all here doing it together. So remember to have grace. All right. So that's what I've got for October. And remember to stay in the love vibration and love one another and help when you can. And bless you all. October is going to be big. Still big. All right. Yaila, you're up. What have you got?
Thank you, Corey. Thank you, ladies. And if you've tuned into our videos before, or if not, I just happened to the collective reading live as we speak, as Peyton mentioned at the beginning of the video. So I will have my eyes closed from time to time. So let me just get connected to you all tuning in. For October 2024. And before I even got a color, I just got the word wild. So it's going to be a wild month for sure. I think we've all been feeling that. Maybe you've heard about that kind of circulating around the internet or with different people. So let me just get a color for the collective. Okay, so I'm getting kind of like a steel gray color. It's funny that I picked this shirt, but it's almost like that color, gray and green. So let me just connect into that. Okay. And when I ask what that steel gray color is for the collective, it's a hodgepodge of like healing white light energy amongst everybody's kind of like energies they're letting go and releasing. So it's just kind of like this whirlwind of almost like the light and dark kind of combining each other, the light being shown to the dark, but it's kind of why is it steel gray, almost grayish blue? It's connecting with communication, how we're communicating with ourselves, how we're communicating with other people. And then green always, whenever I see green, is about relationships. It's about healing. It's also about nature, reconnecting your rooting back into nature, rooting back into your ancestry. And before I started today's reading, I kept getting the guidance, and it happened a few days ago, of reconnecting back to our roots, reconnecting back to how our ancestors used to communicate, how they used to live their daily lives, how they used to feed themselves, and that's feeding themselves mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically. So there's going to be a call to get back to our roots, get back to how our ancestors used to collaborate and coexist amongst their smaller communities together. So it's being open to reconnecting back to our roots is also what I'm hearing with that green color. So let me just ask what is helpful to know for the month of October. The biggest thing that they're bringing in is staying in your light. As Corey mentioned, and our previous readings last couple months with the three of us, things are getting even more swirly. And I feel like even around here in the United States, we have our election coming up in November. So leading up to new elections, there's just a lot of swirling energy. And what I'm hearing, and it's so funny because Corey, how you mentioned in Sagittarius season, how seeing things from a new perspective, like being open to new ideas, new ways of thinking about things. And so I'm seeing that for the collective as well. So as things are getting swirled up, as more things are coming to the surface, I'm hearing the word disclosures, even more disclosures. 2024 is the year of not only justice, but I'm hearing a reckoning. So if there's people, places, and things that have been operating against the collective, against communities, against people, there's going to be a sort of reckoning. Their darkness is coming to the surface, and we are going to be shown more and more. It's already started happening, but it feels like it's really amping up even more so a little bit. Started coming through in September, even more is going to come through in October, even more through the rest of the year into the new year. And so there is just this deeper awareness of where things have been, what's been going on behind the scenes, and we, the people, are setting the stage for what does it really mean to be human in this world? How do we want to live in our communities? How do we want to live within our families? How do we want to live within our own body, our own home? Um, there's just this deeper rooted way of being. The words that are coming through are like more pure to our mind, body, spirit. As far as like pureness, for me, pureness is like truth, it's authenticity, it's love, it's the greater good. It's not acting just for the self, but acting for the collective. But it's also we are more happy as people when we are in service to others. And so what's being brought up to the surface is allowing us to step into our power. So staying connected to your light, staying connected to your love is something to watch out for, because you will be shown different things where we want to judge, we want to put people down, we want to push against. And there is a time and place to move and navigate through those things. But as light workers, as people here bringing love, there's just a different way to do that. In our last video, somebody had mentioned how we brought up the conversation of politics. And I'll just say from a personal level, I don't think it's my place to tell you who you should and shouldn't vote for. But what I will offer is my hope for everyone is that you connect to the people, places, and things, and this is regardless of politics, that bring out the love, that bring out the light, that bring out your true freedoms, that bring out your health for all, and offering the source, God, creator, to bring in that discernment so that you are aligned to that path. So as a healer, it's not my place to tell you who to vote for, but I just wish you that blessing that you have that discernment for your true heart's desires. Let's see what else is helpful to know for the month of October 2024. The words I'm hearing are going inside, and when I hear that, to me, it's like thinking about meditating within your own heart chakra, meditating within, going inside and hearing just your deeper truth, your deeper, authentic heart's desires. And when we know that truth, that is what we start to expand and create out into the outside world, outside of our bodies. So October is a time for you to not only stay connected to your light, but also staying connected to your inner truth, going within. And that's where your answers are going to come from. Your answers aren't going to come from me. They're not going to come from outside people. They're going to come from your inner heart, your inner truth, and your intention to stay in your highest alignment, to stay in your highest love and light will guide you to those truths. So going within for your answers. I love the saying, you are your own guru now. You know, times have changed. We're not looking for outside people to direct us to where our heart's highest alignment is. It's learning to trust ourselves, learning to trust what our body is showing us, what the energy is showing us, how we feel in different situations, people, places, and things. So we're just starting to get more comfortable with that in October, which is very exciting because we're going to be put to, I don't like to say put to the test, but we'll be shown things to bump up against that's really going to have us go within and be like, nope, this feels good, or yes, this feels right. You know, we'll have that discernment. Let me just ask if there's any final messages for you, the collective, for October 2024. You know, as they're saying, October is going to be wild. You're going to have all of it. So you're going to have things where you're just like WTF moments. You're going to have these, wow, I can't believe that, you know, in like a positive light, negative light, but you're also going to have, I'm seeing this really fun excitement of like, this is so wild. The whole world is kind of swirly and crazy, but in these little individual moments, it's wild that I feel this much love. It's wild that I have this much support. It's wild that I'm thinking these new thoughts. So just expect the unexpected is kind of the last little message I'm hearing. But we are all being guided to the highest alignment. If you stay in your love, if you stay in your light, if you understand that we are all navigating the best way that we can with what's being thrown at us. And if your intention is to stay in truth and authenticity, in your love and your light, you will navigate with grace and ease. So that is what I have for the month of October. Peyton, what do the P's have to say?
Thank you so much, Corey and Yaila. I always love to hear what y'all get and see how it dovetails with the P's. And Corey, I feel like you were channeling the Pleiadians for your message this month. You've taken some of the words right out of their mouth. So, hey y'all, I'm Peyton, and as you may know, I'm a Pleiadian channel. So when I checked in with the Pleiadians, who we lovingly refer to as the P's, they said that we are going to be having a huge month in October. So according to the P's, what is going to be happening is we're entering a time of endings. And this is because we are starting to cut ties with everything that connects us to the old 3D grid. So we are going to be seeing a lot of exits, a lot of doors closing, and on the kind of big ticket items in our life. So we may see relationships ending. We may be seeing ourselves losing interest in things that we have always loved. We may see people departing from our experience. And these energies are not going to be gentle. So what is happening is that we're just breaking out of the 3D cage. We are releasing any of those remaining anchors that are holding us in the old world, all that density. So what this is going to look like is that anything that is based in those very dense 3D feelings, emotions, energies, which a lot of times that can be fear energy, control, manipulation, deception, all that good stuff that has kind of been the status quo on Earth, is going to be lighting up like a Christmas tree. And the reason for this is so that we can see that we are not interested in moving toward that, so we can make another choice. But for a long time on Earth, things have been kind of hiding in the shadows, but those days are over. So these energies are going to be lighting up anything that is based in density. Anything, as the ladies were just talking about, that doesn't support and want the best for everyone. It is going to be shining like a neon light so that we can move away from it. So this is a time where we're going to be breaking ties with anything that limits us. So this energy is energy that nothing can hide. We can't hide our stuff from ourselves anymore. And all those things that are part of kind of the seedy underbelly of life on Earth can't hide either. So what we're going to notice in kind of the energies of the next month or so is that when we start to bump up against or interact with things that are based on these very fear-based energies, separation-based energies, they're going to feel terrible. It's just going to be a complete energetic mismatch to who we are now. And so what is happening is the universe is going to be separating us from all of those remaining anchors. So as we move into the fall months, the P's say that this is a great time for us to start pulling out our investment. And of course, we invest in things with our money, with our time, with our energy, and with our attention. And so this is a perfect opportunity in October to start just pulling your energy out of anything that is trying to keep you in fear, in separation, in pitting one person against another. And like Yaila mentioned, election season, we're going to see a lot of that. So what is happening is this is a good time for us to de-invest just in those things that are keeping us limited and stuck and in fear. That's what these energies are going to be very supportive of, because what's happening is we're refusing to play the 3D game anymore. Once we can see things and everything is on full display, y'all, there is no hiding anymore. We can just move away from it. We don't have to fight with it or, get mad at it. You just see it, you recognize it's not a match to who you are now, and you just go in a different direction. That is what these energies are going to be all about. So the universe is going to be separating us from anything that is keeping us in limitation. And this may not be a gentle process. So this is something that can be a little unsettling. I know there have been a couple times over the past month or so where I just had to go, what is happening? I give up, I surrender, because these energies are not joking around. The P's like to joke with me. They're like, Peyton, the energies are gonna win. So you may as well give in gracefully, because if the universe is trying to separate you from something, it's gonna do it. So this is an opportunity where we're gonna see a lot of things coming to an end. And this can be a bit overwhelming. I know it has been for me over the past month or so. And so what the P's encourage, if you find yourself getting a little discouraged or overwhelmed with things that are ending, doors that are closing, the way the P's encourage us to look at this time period is that every time something comes to an end, that you get separated from it, that it just stops working, that you look at it as if you're releasing those last anchors to the old way. You're dropping dead weight. And so as you do that, every time a door closes, you're getting filled with more freedom, because you're dropping something that was holding you back. Even if we didn't realize that it was, or didn't want to let ourselves admit that it was, every time you release something, your freedom expands. So we're dropping some of that dead weight that we just hadn't gotten around to parting with. But it can be challenging. These energies are not what we would call easy energies, but every time we let go of something, our higher self moves into us more fully. We integrate more with our soul energy because we're not fighting to keep it out so hard. So that's going to be a very big theme in the energies of the next month. Now, something else that is happening in October and really through the fall months is that we are starting to really latch onto and activate the new consciousness grid. And of course, we have been on this grid, it has been stable for a while, but when we move onto this new grid, it is going to be the polar opposite of everything we have kind of considered our human lives to be about. So on the new grid, freedom is an absolute given. Absolute abundance is a given. Sovereignty is a given. Connection to each other, love, support, all those things we've had to kind of claw out in our life is the baseline for every human. That's what we are moving onto. But in order to manifest that new grid that we're already on, we have to let go of those old anchors. So that's what we're going to be in the process of doing through the next month or so, is dropping those anchors. And this is something that it's very, very advised to let them go gracefully. If you try to cling to them, if you try to keep things in your life that the universe is trying to pull away, it's gonna be like hanging on the bumper of a moving car. It's not gonna go great. As the P's say, the energies are gonna win. So this is a time to be ready to surrender, because as we let go of the old, something even better moves in. So the way these energies may feel to you in your physical body is you may feel a little floaty. You may feel a little disorganized, a little unmotivated, little kind of like I've been feeling lately, kind of over it, is also very common in these energies. And just feeling a little ungrounded in your physical body. And one of the reasons for this, according to the Pleiadians, is we are working hard energetically on so many levels that we just don't have a lot of resources left over to care about things. So that is what we are going to be kind of noticing in the energies. And the best way to navigate these energies is with the body. And you've heard the three of us say this over and over again. The ladies touched on this earlier today. Your body is your best tool forward. So moving toward anything that feels exciting, that feels in flow, that feels easy, that feels nurturing, that is what we want to move toward. And we just want to move away from anything that is feeling forced, that is feeling dead or stale, anything that is feeling like it's based in control or separation. That's going to be your body telling you, you might want to go in a different direction. So this is going to be all about choice. And your body is going to guide you minute to minute to tell you which direction to move in. So your body is going to be your most important tool. Another way to think of this is just letting your higher self bring you along, kind of drag you along. And as you do that, this is an energy that we just can't control. So letting go of control is going to be very important, and letting go of trying to think our way through things. The mind has no place on the new grid. So the mind is all about controlling, being in control of the process. And we're going to have to let that go too, because never really was in our control, but it definitely isn't in these energies. So that's kind of how the energies are going to feel. But the P's just wanted us to be prepared to see anything that doesn't serve us anymore. Anything that is based in density, separation, control is going to start to be removed from us. And the easier you let it go, the smoother the process will be for you. But this is definitely a time where we're going to see things exiting our life and making room for the new consciousness grid. So that is what the P's were seeing as they scanned our collective energy for October. Ladies, is there anything else that is kind of popping up for you that you want to throw in?
I just want to say I love what you both share, because it is that similar belief of like going with the flow and not forcing things. I think that's just such great wisdom that you just tapped into, Peyton, because I've been in that same mode, like not really caring, just like, you know what, I surrender. Like, I'm not even here to force. I don't even have the energy to force or the bandwidth in my mind to force right now. Like, okay.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I've been in that same place too. just literally, I was like, okay, you know what? I surrender. I surrender. Like, I just gave it all up. Yeah, I did. I've been, and that, like, I don't have it in me to just like,
Yep.
yeah, I love that about the
Yeah.
peace. You said, in the beginning, the peace energy hit me so hard when you started talking, at the peace, it hit me so hard, and I just, I just started to tear up, and I really feel that we've all been a lot in our hearts, and that's not going to change in October, even though physically we need to physically move forward, not being in the mind, but that ever since Leo season, it's been about the heart. I've been noticing that for myself and a lot of clients, the heart, and just surrendering to the heart.
Yeah, it's really the only way to navigate these energies. They keep telling us if you try to think your way through it, you get into the ego. We can't be in the mind and not be in the ego. And that's what gets us in all the trouble. So the way around that is just to be in the heart and let the universe bring you along. Because these days we used to always think about it. It was all think about it, plan it, hustle it, grind it out, set goals. And that doesn't work anymore because we're not in that energy grid anymore. So we're in that kind of destabilized zone where we don't really know what world we're in. But, the more we're in the heart, the more it doesn't really matter where we are, we'll be carried where we need to go, but we have to let go to do that. And for some of us, like me, that can be a challenge to let go of that control and trust.
Yeah, I mean, I struggled with it, several weeks ago. It was like, and I felt like I loved it when you said, like it being like hanging on to the bumper of a car and being dragged behind it. Uh, I got I got caught up in that too a couple weeks ago, and it's interesting because it's been a while actually since that happened. But that was the moment of surrender. It was like, "What are you doing, Corey? Like, this obviously is not working."
Yeah. I think we're so conditioned to, so many of us have been taught to like find the answer, do more, do. And that's just not the solution. All it's doing is making us go into more of a tailspin. So it's really about doing less, following, and trust. The word trust keeps coming in. My guides are like, just trust, just trust. And whenever I do readings for people, they're probably sick of me saying it. I'm like, you just have to trust what your heart wants, it's going to get. It's not about doing to do, it's doing intentionally, and you'll be guided when you'll know when it's the time. But if it's not a hell yes, it's a no. Or not now. Or not now.
I love it. Definitely. It stops the flow of energy coming in. Right? Flow versus effort.
No more struggle.
No more struggle bus. No.
Gotta give up the struggle.
No
Struggle's the
struggle
old
bus.
way. No bus. All right. Well, thank you so much, ladies. I always love hearing your readings and seeing how everything kind of seems to magically dovetail. And thank you guys so much for watching our videos. We really appreciate you. Don't forget, if you haven't done it already, to subscribe to each of our individual channels. We share different types of perspectives on energy work all the time. So make sure you check that out. And we always love your comments and appreciate your shares and follows. So we're so grateful for you guys, and we will see you next month for the November excitement. Hope y'all have a great day. We'll see you soon. Bye, y'all.